Hello my friend, Amner Hunter here from amnerhunter.com. Happy to spend some time with you in another video. Today I want to check out the brand new plugin release by the company Safari Pedals. This is an awesome channel strip plugin by this company that was just released today when this video is being published. Alright, this is the Camel Strip and it's a 6 effects in one inside this little box. Alright, and in today's video I want to check out all of the features and controls, of course analyze the plugin as well a bit more in depth, and of course test it across different elements in a mix with some before and after tests. And let me tell you that there is a fully featured free trial available here at the website, fully functioning 14-day demo of this plugin. You can go ahead and check it out, and there's also a sale going on at the moment for a limited time. Introductory price of this cool plugin by the company Safari Pedals. The link will be provided in the video description and first comments, so go ahead and check it out. Full disclosure, the company Safari Pedals approached me and contacted me to create this video review and demo for you guys, but all of the thoughts and opinions remain objectively mine. The members of this company are watching the video at the same time as you do, so thanks a lot Safari Pedals for sponsoring this video. Before we begin with the content, let me invite you quickly to my website amnerhunter.com, where you can grab some additional free stuff such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players, also some free tools such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to be checking out this channel or my blog, which I am updating almost every day with tons of content like this. While I review the features and controls, I would like to analyze this plugin as well with this EQ curve analyzer, right? So let's check out quickly the different sections of the plugin, and let's break down the 6 effects that this plugin contains, right? So the Camel Strip, it's a full-on channel strip with analog capabilities. Firstly, we have an input drive, okay? And this one adds distortion and saturation to the signal. You can see here the EQ curve changing the more input I add. So it will introduce, we are not able to see it in this EQ curve analyzer, but this input drive adds distortion, saturation, and harmonics to the signal in a very pleasant way. Also, we have an EQ section here, and this EQ has 3 controls, 3 knobs for highs, mids, and lows, and it actually has the EQ curves of 3 legendary equalizers. Here we have the EQ1A. If you see, if I turn off the EQ, you can see this high pass here, a bit of changes in the flat EQ response, right? And if we switch to the 1073 legendary EQ as well, it has this EQ curve by default. And finally, the 4K console, it has this other EQ curve, right? And I am not changing the parameters. Let me add, for instance, some highs, right? And we are adding this type of curve here with the EQ1A. Then the 1073 adds this other type of different curve. Very musical and broad curves, right? The 1073, and the 4K adds this in the highs, and also this sort of musical cut on the lower mids. That's just adding highs, right? And let's change here to default settings. So let's for instance move the mid band. This is how the mid band works on EQ1A, then the 73, right? And also the 4K, that's the way it deals with the mid band. And finally, let's change here and see the low band, how it behaves, right? So you see here on the EQ1A, this very musical EQ curve where you are boosting some lows, but at the same time you are also reducing some mids, like the original equalizer, the analog piece of gear that it boosts and cuts at the same time. It's very, very cool. And also that's 1073 has this type of EQ curve on the low end. As you see here, is reducing a bit some of the highs, some of the extreme highs. And the 4K, it's this curve, right? So yeah, pretty cool to have these three legendary equalizers into one single section here and being able to change between them. So that's a cool thing. We have an effects section here with just a single knob to increase plate reverb or spring reverb, right? And we're gonna hear that in a moment, of course, but it's definitely very handy, very convenient to have just one knob to add an additional effects, to add some depth to snares, to guitars, to vocals, stuff like that. And I actually used a spring reverb and plate reverb. I am eager to show you that as well. We have a gate with a single knob as well, and with soft and hard knee. The hard knee is of course more aggressive to the incoming audio, and this gate, it works very cool to isolate, for instance, a snare where you have tons of cymbal bleed and stuff like that. I actually used the soft knee and increased the gate, and I was able to isolate the snare a bit more instead of having all of the cymbal bleed, the toms and all that. Also, we have a compressor. It actually has three compressor types, three compressor curves as well, of three legendary analog pieces of gear. The Fairchild, right, which is a tube compressor, and as you can see, it changes also the EQ behavior by changing the different types of compressors. Actually, the Fairchild is the one that changes, drastically the EQ curve, even though I'm not like using EQ, right? It's only the compressor, but that's due to the analog characteristics of the Fairchild compressor. It's like a compressor limiter, tube compressor limiter with tons of character. Then we have the 2A, which is like the LA2A, of course, right? Which is an optical compressor, more transparent compressor. It's not as aggressive as the other ones. And finally, the legendary 1176 that works great on a number of instruments as well, is a Transformers compressor, and it also has a fast attack time like the Fairchild. It reacts quickly to the audio and making it also very useful for some sources, right? And in this video I want to test the three of them. And finally, we have a width control that will widen the signal a bit to the sides. Very cool. 6 effects in one. Finally, we have a blend control from 0 to 100%, right, to mix the unprocessed and processed signal of the whole package. Of course, we have an input and output, and we have oversampling as well. For instance, I have a drum kit here. I am using the channel strip or the Camel Strip on the drum bus, right, and I'm gonna process it only using this plugin. Let's first hear the drums alone. So I have all of the different sections turned off, but I added some input drive, some saturation and coloration. Let's hear it. It's fatter before, after. Nice saturation, right? Transparent, right? Here on the EQ section, I cut a bit of mids on the whole drum kit with the EQ 1A. Before, after. Okay, let's add some highs so that you can hear it. Very crispy top end. Let's change the 1073, 4K. This one sounds more lo-fi, right? Removed a lot of low end, even though I am using only the high frequency knob. But I really liked the EQ1A here, just increasing a bit. Right, that's the before and after. I am not using effects on the whole kit because I used plate reverb on the snare. I am using some compression here. Let's take a listen to this. Only the compression. Nice. Some punch with the 2A. Not very aggressive compression. The change between the Fairchild and the 1176. This one adds a very nice punch. Off, on, cool. And let's increase the width. Right, it expands the sound a bit to the sides. To be honest, I am not using it that often. There's the width. I am leaving it by default. It's not like you need to use stereo width on all of the instrument. So before, after, let's decrease a bit the output here to compensate. Before, after. Also, I used the Camel Strip on Snare. Let's check it out. This is the snare isolated. I added some saturation. Very nice round saturation. I'm using not as much though. And here on the EQ, adding some highs, some mids, some lows. So whole plugin off. Right? It's subtle, and also I am using some plate reverb here. Let me show you. Nice. Let me increase it so that you can hear the full effect and the spring. Let's go back to 28. Before, after, adding a bit of room sound, a bit of space to the snare, right? So that it's not super dry. Also, let me show you the gate here. So you will hear, of course, cymbals, kick, everything, right? Bleeding into the snare microphone. Let's get rid of that. It reduces quite a lot, right? All of the bleed. And we are not losing a lot of the tail of the snare. The resonance hard. More aggressive, right? Yeah, the decay it's more aggressive, so I need a softer decay so that it doesn't get rid of the tail or body. Nice. Before, nice. And finally the compressor LA2A as well. So the whole effect off. Let's move on with the bass guitar here. This is the bass without any processing. I also added some saturation here at half point. You can hear the saturation already. Right, on the EQ I added some top end, reduced some mids, and the lows is default. Adding some bite. Before. EQ1A, 73, 4K. I liked the 73 algorithm here. Didn't add any effects, any gate as well, and some compression from the Fairchild, some tube compression. The bass is quite even, but I wanted to really compress it with saturation and compression, so off. A bit dirtier with some grit. Let's check out now the guitar boss, a couple of guitars, and this is without effect. First, the saturation that I added, some edge to them. You can hear a bit of breakup, like some harmonics, right? EQ, I used the EQ1A, reducing some lows, some mids, and also adding some brightness. Before. Nice. Before. After. I added some spring reverb, which I thought was pretty cool, especially here. Those pauses, like it fills the space, the spring reverb. No effect, completely dry. Right, you get that cool reverberation, and we don't have compression. I think I don't need it. I reduced a bit here the output, so the whole effect off, on, nice edge on the highs, right, and with saturation, pretty cool. This is the vocal without any effect.
This is our time.
I added some
No more
input drive,
excuses.
mild saturation.
We can change this. This is our
But you can
time
hear the
to
effect.
break this down. No more excuse.
You hear like
This is our time.
bit noticeable the distortion, right?
This is our time.
I didn't use it very exaggerated here.
This is our time.
Just a tiny bit.
No more excuses.
I added some highs, a bit of mids here. Let's reduce some lows here. And I used again the 4K console.
This is our time. No more.
Very musical top end, I should say, of these three EQ.
This is our time.
I think it adds like a smooth top end instead of being harsh. You can hear the S's, right? That can be harsh sometimes, but in this case it's smooth, it's pleasant, I think.
This is our time.
Added some spring reverb as well.
This is our time.
Awesome.
No more excuses.
Some
We
stir
can
width.
change this. This is our time.
And finally some 1176 compression. The 1176 is also aggressive, fast attack time, great for vocals to keep the dynamics in control.
This is our time.
Let's turn off the
No
effects.
more
and EQ.
excuses. We can change this.
No compression.
This is our time to break this down.
I think the saturation of the input and the compression both work great together. And let's add everything together, EQ and effects.
This is our time.
Reduce
No
this a
more
bit.
excuses. We can change this.
Let's hear a final before and after I'm gonna turn off all of the plugin instances. So this is the mix without any processing.
This is our time. No more excuses. We can change this.
On.
This is our time to break
No
this
processing.
down. No more excuses. We can change this. We are the children of Noah. Cut down and more will stand. Eden is burning.
Please let me know what you think of this new Channel Strip plugin by Safari Pedals, 6 effects in one. I think it's a great tool. I am very interested to know your opinions. Remember, there is a fully featured free trial at the website. Go ahead and check it out, and there is also a sale introductory price of this new plugin. The link is gonna be in the video description and first comment. Before we leave, my friend, let me invite you one last time to my website, unveiled.com, where you can grab some additional free stuff, such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players. Also some free tools, such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample bags, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to check out this channel or my blog, which I'm updating almost every day with tons of content like this. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. I will see you very soon. Bye bye and take care.